This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Powerful winter storm is heading for the Sierra tonight, bringing strong winds and plenty of moisture with it. When it will arrive as Storm Watch tops Channel 2 News at 5 o'clock. Good evening, everybody. I'm Wendy DeMonte. Kristen is off tonight. Thank you for joining us. Well, we do begin with Storm Watch team coverage for you tonight. Chief Meteorologist Mike Alger's in the Weather Center with this significant system is heading our way. And Chloe Beardsley is live in Southwest Reno with a look at how northern Nevadans are bracing for some pretty big winds. Okay, Mike, we're going to start with you tonight.
And you mentioned winds, Wendy. That is probably the real sure bet in this storm. Whenever we have a real strong storm with a lot of wind to it coming up and hitting the mountains, and even on our wide shot here with our Tahoe cam, you can see that the winds are already howling up in the mountaintops. I expect by tomorrow morning, maybe even late tonight, on the ridge tops, you're going to be looking at 100 to 120 mile per hour winds up there. What does that mean down here in the valley? Well, starting 10 o'clock tonight, we are under a high wind warning, and that goes until early Friday morning for us. The wind warning up in the mountains expires at 1 tomorrow afternoon. But let's take a look at all the warnings across the area here. And again, here in the Reno area, it is mostly a wind event that is going to be the most severe effect of this, although I do expect to get some precipitation out of it. That high wind warning, like I say, going until 4 a.m. We also have one up in the mountains here that will expire tomorrow afternoon, but also in the mountains, a winter storm warning goes until 1 o'clock on Friday. Now that doesn't start until tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. And further to the west, if you're having to get over the hills, boy, it's going to be tough. A blizzard warning in effect. That is that orange stretch there on the west slopes of the Sierra. So travel over the mountains is going to be very, very challenging indeed. If you look at the next 24 hours on the future satellite and radar, you can see already we're getting some heavy precipitation up in Northern California. Now watch what happens as that low digs down. It really tightens up our pressure gradient, but we will be shadowed out even throughout the day tomorrow. Very limited precipitation, if any, here in Reno, although the mountains should be in fairly steady rain or snow. Snow level is going to start up around probably 8,000 feet tonight, lower in the morning to about 7,500 feet, and then by tomorrow afternoon, drop down close to Lake Tahoe level and even further by Friday morning. So it will be a very heavy precipitation event in the mountains. In the valley, however, it is the wind, and we're going out now live to Chloe Beardsley is standing in the southwest. Chloe, we have already had a lot of rainfall this month in the valley. That has softened up our soils. Now with strong winds, that makes tree falls and all that a little bit more likely. I would imagine they're getting ready for perhaps some electrical outages across the region. Is that right?
That's absolutely right, Mike. And NV Energy has been performing routine maintenances all over town today. And actually this morning they started some of those projects earlier than normal, just ahead of that windy weather. And since we're going to be seeing such strong wind gusts, we may definitely see some of those power outages. All is calm now before the storm that's expected to bring sustained winds as strong as 30 to 50 miles per hour with gusts over 60 miles per hour on the valley floor. We tagged along with NV Energy this afternoon to see how their crews are preparing.
We're bringing the crews in, we're making sure that they have all the proper equipment, all the vehicles are ready to go.
Maintenance work is done year-round, everything from tree trimming to upkeep on the power lines. As many as 20 crews could be on hand in Washoe County tomorrow. NV Energy says if they need to, they'll bring in extra crew members from Carson City and Fallon,
Winnemucca, Elko, and we use those whenever we need to with the Reno crews to react to any situation that might happen within our service territories.
And if the power goes out, we're told response times will be quicker now than they were 3 years ago.
We have the smart meters now in place, so a lot of times we know there's an outage before the customer might even know.
During the storm, homeowners also need to be ready by securing their property. There's always more potential for damage as wind speeds increase. Gusts up to 70 and 80 miles per hour are also possible in Washoe Valley.
Christmas decorations, everybody's got decorations out. If it's not tied down, it could become airborne. Like your deck furniture, anything that's not tied down or not really, really heavy, might be good to put it in your garage or put it inside.
And it's also trash day for some people tomorrow. That includes the Sparks and Spanish Springs neighborhoods. So if you do plan on leaving those trash cans out, you want to make sure they are very well secure on the ground. If not, they could blow away. Covering Stormwatch Live in Reno, Chloe Beardsley, Channel 2 News.
Oh no, big impact for those folks. Okay, Chloe, thank you. So what impact could this latest storm system have on our drought situation? Landon Miller asked the National Weather Service and has their answer.
You might not exactly be familiar with the term atmospheric river.
It's a really deep area of moisture that's moving in off the Pacific.
So in simpler terms, it means precipitation. And a lot of it, and it's coming our way. It's been a few years since we've seen a storm of this magnitude.
It's a big storm, but it's not really a historical storm.
Meteorologist Brian Brong with the National Weather Service says this storm will bring some of the highest winds we've seen in a couple of years.
The last one probably of this magnitude was back in December of 2012.
But is this storm the answer we've been looking for in terms of our drought? Brong says there's still a long way to go.
We're still running about a year and a half worth of deficit on rain and snow, so this just helps start to dig into that deficit.
We're still way behind, but looking at the Truckee River in downtown Reno today, we're already seeing some improvement. For the year starting in October, the Truckee River water basin is at 84% of average, Lake Tahoe Basin at 70%. And they say you can bet those numbers are going to be much higher come next week.
But it's not certainly going to be something that's going to, end the drought overnight.
Covering Stormwatch, Landon Miller, Channel 2 News.
And with this storm coming in tonight, the Washoe County School District is reminding the community about transportation and safety procedures. The school district will determine if school is canceled or delayed by 5 o'clock in the morning. And the district will communicate this in various ways, like telling us here at Channel 2, and we'll have those closures and delays on Channel 2 News this morning. And please remember, Channel 2 News is your source for Stormwatch continuing coverage when severe weather impacts northern Nevada and the Sierra. When we are not on the air, you can get the latest Stormwatch coverage on our website, KTVN.com, and on our Facebook and Twitter pages. You can also dial 511 to get the latest road conditions, or you can click the Road Conditions tab on our website. Tonight, we have an update on a bank robbery in Northwest Reno that happened late last month. Wells Fargo is now offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in the robbery that happened back on November 25th at the branch on Mayan and McCarran. Well, take a look at this picture. The FBI released these photos of the suspect in the robbery. He's described as a black man between 5'8" and 6 feet tall and 200 pounds. He was wearing dark clothing, as you can see, yellow gloves and a ski mask. And check that out, he is armed with a handgun. Well, today the FBI also released a photo of a robbery suspect at the First Independent Bank on Charlins Avenue on December 1st. If you know anything about either robbery, call Secret Witness at 322-4900, or you can text your tip to 847-411.